Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah, and for today's video I wanted to give you a quick update on the OWL's Magical Readathon and how many owls I did complete for my lovely house Ravenclaw. And unfortunately I did not meet my goal of all 12 subjects. I did not reach that Hermione level, but next year for sure it is happening. But I did just want to let you know which ones I did complete, which books I read, and just let you know if I liked them or not. I'm not going to go into too big of a review, but if there is a book in particular you want more information on and would like me to do a review video, please let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to do so, and I may have that planned already. So let's just get right on to it. So for this readathon, there is one book that I did listen to on audio, and that was for my Transfiguration OWLs. And the requirement for that was that it did have some type of transfiguration or transformation in the story, whether it be, really could be anything. So what I decided to do, I chose The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, because there is a character in here, Beorn. He is a skin changer. He changes from a man to a bear, so that fulfilled that transfiguration requirement. And I decided to listen to the audiobook of this because I have read this book many times before. Absolutely love it. I love Tolkien. I know I've mentioned that before. And surprisingly, as of 1 month ago, I had never listened to an audiobook ever in my life. And then a month ago, I decided I wanted to listen to the Harry Potter series on audio because I do like to read the whole series once a year. And I decided, since I've never listened to the audios before, why not do it this year? So I listened to The Sorcerer's Stone, and I loved it so much that I wanted to listen to The Hobbit on audio as well, since I have read the book before, so I knew what it was. I could have it on in the background while I was getting ready, showering, driving. That's when I listened to most of it. If I was cleaning, I'd have it playing through my Alexas, and it's just all is so, oh, it was so nice. So lovely to be able to still get reading done while getting other things done as well. What do you want? My dog is going crazy begging me for attention right now. So I apologize if you can hear him throughout the video. Alright, so the next one that I finished, this is for arithmancy, which the requirement for this was to have a number either in the title or somewhere on the cover. I chose to do 1984 by George Orwell. This is a classic that I had never read before. One of my fellow teachers had just recently read it for the first time as well, so this was really fun for me to read because I had someone to talk to with it who had just read it for the first time, and it's crazy. I don't even know what to say about this book except that, if you haven't read it, you absolutely need to. It is insane. So many crazy things. I now understand all the rave about this book, and I'm so glad I finally picked it up and read it. Alright, so for the Herbology, the requirement for that owl was to have something nature related in the title. So I chose to do The Winter Witch by Paula Braxton, and I have nothing but good things to say about this. I've said it before, I love stories about witches. This one takes place in, I believe, the 1800s over in Wales, and our main character is unable to speak. She is a witch. She does have these powers. She marries a man, moves into his home, and things start to go weird in the town. People start to suspect things of her. It's a very, very well written book, and absolutely loved it. If you had watched my video about the books that I was planning on reading for this readathon, you might remember that for the Care of Magical Creatures, I decided to read Before She Ignites, which was one of the books from Owl Crate a few months ago. And when I say a few months ago, it probably could have been a year ago that I just hadn't gotten around to reading yet. However, I had recently picked up Tequila Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, and I had to read this one first. I am a huge fan of mermaids, sirens, anything related to it. That love probably started from Disney's Little Mermaid, like I'm sure it does for most people. This is a retelling of that story, And but of course it has a much darker twist to it. Not as dark as the original Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen, but much darker than the Disney version. And I probably finished this book in 2 days, and that is including working. It's not a long book. It's quite a short read. Very fast paced. It's upbeat. There wasn't a lot of lagging that I felt like something was missing. Just a great retelling of that classic story if you like mermaids or sirens, which, no, they are not the same thing. There's a big difference between a mermaid and a siren, especially in this book. But this was so great. I absolutely loved it. And for my Charms Owl, the requirement for that was just to have a fantasy book, so I decided to do The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. This is her debut novel, and for a debut novel, it was fantastic. I love the storyline. It's about these 3 sisters who were accused of being witches back in, I believe, the 1800s. Yes, 1822. And they were drowned in the river for witchcraft, and that set a curse upon the town. And these girls, these witches, they come back every summer and take their revenge and drown local boys. I do have a review video for this book. I will link it down below if you're interested in that, where I'll go into more detail. But I will say there was a twist in this that I did not see coming at all. I'm sure some people probably did, but it totally caught me off guard, and I love when a book can do that. So that was one thing I really, really liked about this, and especially the ending is kind of bittersweet. It's not a complete happy ending, but it's not a complete emotional mess either. So very, very good book, and I cannot wait to see what Shay Earnshaw puts out for her next novel. And the last one I completed is my Astronomy Owl, and I decided to read Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I have seen this everywhere, as I'm sure you have as well. It is all over BookTube. It's all over Instagram, for if you do bookstagrams as well. And I wasn't quite sure how I felt about the hype. I knew the format of the book, how it wasn't set up like a regular novel. Here's an example. We have kind of like receipts of items going back and forth and files, just all these different mediums to tell a story. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to follow it, but I did. And let me tell you, this is a 600-page book. Really, though, if it was written as a regular novel, it definitely wouldn't be that long, but I flew through this book. It was so good. I honestly didn't expect to enjoy it because of the format, but the story itself really captured me, and I am so glad I picked this up. I don't think you can see them on my shelf right now. I think I might be in front of them, but I do have Gemina and Obsidio waiting for me that I am going to finish off this lovely trilogy. Super excited too. So those are the books that I did get to complete for the Owls Readathon. There are 7 of them total. I know Book Roast is planning on doing a Newt level readathon as well, which I believe you can only choose books for those of the owls that you did complete, which is awesome. I love how she's staying with the fandom and going through how it would normally go through in Hogwarts, so I'm really excited to see what that is. If you participated in this readathon as well, I would love to see what you read, which ones you completed. So leave your books down below, or if you have a video like this, I would love to watch it, so drop a link to that as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.